Greetings, I'm Demonac, and it's arena time. I'm about to start a new set of arena here, so let's get it going. Get it going. There we go. So 150 gold, purchase complete. Choose my hero. I currently have a daily quest for almost every class. I think it's like every class except these three. I have two different ones, each is for two classes, and I don't think these are any of them. So, what do I want to try? Warlock's pretty good. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to go with Priest. I haven't played Priest that much, but we're going to see how it goes.
Light shall bring victory.
It'll be different. So, we've got Crap Watcher, who doesn't do anything. The Arcane Golem, who I don't really like because he gives my opponent stuff. And the Twilight Drake, who I also don't like all that much. But I'm going to take him given the choices there. Again, we want fatness. I don't want to have a whole bunch of weak stuff. Although, this is a very good first turn play. This guy's okay. And holy crap am I taking this card. Gives a minion +2 health, like permanently, not just healing. And you draw a card. 1 mana and it draws a card. That's awesome for cycling through your deck and getting the good stuff. Okay, now Spiteful Smith, he's based on weapons. I don't think there are any priest weapons, certainly not many. So this is the Temple Enforcer is a little bit better fat. 6/6 for 6, and it also gives +3 health permanently to a friendly minion. But 6/6 for 6 is fine, that's fat enough for me. Mind Blast is 5 damage to the enemy hero, like it's cheap, but it's just direct damage to the player, and to me it's not, like, I'd rather have a creature generally, instead of, or something that can actually function as removal, so no. Get my big fat Enforcer here. What else have we got? He's a cheap taunt guy, but I don't like him so much because he can't survive an attack. Gnomish Inventor draws a card, that's okay. I'm going to make a fat exception here and take the Worgen Infiltrator because he's such an amazing first turn play. I just really like him for that. Oh, interesting. Elven Archer is good because she's removal-y. Like, she's actually a bad first turn play. She's better later on, where you can play one thing and also play an Elven Archer and deal 1 damage to finish something off. The Scarlet Crusader is very good because she's a 3/1. She has 3 attack and for 3 mana, and she won't die from the first hit from anything, but I want the fatness. Stormwind Champion is much more likely to win me a game than those other guys. Now, here's a different one. Murloc Raider, kind of garbagey. Temple Enforcer is fat. I don't mind that I already have one. Like, it's not my favorite fat, though. And the Shield Bearer, I don't have... I've only got 5 cards. I can't complain about what I don't have. But I'm going to want Taunt, and this guy is much better with a Priest deck than in somebody else's, because this guy has a reasonable chance of surviving 1 attack, and if he does, I can heal him with the Priest's built-in power, which if you don't know, the Priest's built-in power is 2 mana, heal 2 to either himself or to anything else. So there's a good synergy there. I might take the Shield Bearer. He's big enough that even late in the game, it sucks that he can't kill anything that he's blocking, so he doesn't get card advantage, but like I mentioned once, he's likely to get action advantage, which is sort of a weird concept you don't normally think of, but it most likely takes more than 1 attack or a spell and an attack to actually get rid of him, which is not nothing. That Bomber is interesting. If he damages some of my guys, I can heal it, but I don't know. He's kind of removally. He's random, though. I'm going to go for the fat instead. Frost Elemental. Freezing a character when he comes in is pretty decent. Mind Vision is very weird. Take a copy of a random card in my opponent's hand and put it into my hand. Does 2 things. It tells you one of the cards in your opponent's hand, and it replaces itself. It's kind of like cycling. So you learn 1 card in their hand, and you also get a card, which happens to be that card, which is weird. I don't know. To me, it's not it's weird comparing that to just drawing a card. The thing is, drawing a card would get me closer to whatever stuff I really want in my deck. Although being arena and not constructed, I can't assume that everything in my deck is awesome. So either way, thinking of taking, I think I'm going to take the Ogre Magi. I don't know if I'm going to have much spell damage stuff, but I might get some for removal, and that would be good. And plus, he's pretty reasonably efficient at 4. Okay, another Mad Bomber, another Mind Vision, all this weird stuff, and Light Spawn. He has attack that's always equal to his health. So he starts as a 5/5 for 5. If he takes any damage, his attack goes down. But I can heal him and his attack goes up. And if I increase his health with, say, Power Word Shield or one of my Temple Enforcer, he gains attack to go with it. So I'm going to take him. He's pretty decent. He's not a perfect, like, efficient creature, but he's still pretty good. Okay, we have... I'm not as familiar with these cards. So, Akanai Soul Priest is 3/5 for 4. Your cards and powers that restore health now deal damage instead. Okay, so he's like Shadow Form. That's actually a spell that the priest can get, but anything I do that would heal now deals damage instead, which means that, among other things, my built-in like class power turns into pay to do 2 damage. That's pretty awesome. It might mess up some strategies, but I'm probably going to take him. The Twilight Drake... Oh yeah, I saw that. He's not that great. And the Mana Wraith is weird. He's a 2/2 for 2, and he makes everything else cost 1 more, which means if he's your second turn play, or if you coin him out, if you go second and you coin him out, he really kind of screws your opponent, which is very good. But, I don't know, late game he's not helping as much. I don't know. I'd rather have the Soul Priest too. Northstar Cleric is super good for a priest. Whenever a minion is healed, draw a card. Which means that if any of my stuff is damaged, I can heal it with my class power. And not only does it get healed, but it draws me a card. It's crazy synergy. Every priest plays 2 of these in Constructed. Fen Creeper is... There are better taunt creatures in Constructed. Like, there are better taunt creatures that everyone has in Constructed. There are cards that you start with that are neutral, but in Limited, he's pretty good. The Rocketeer, I'm not a big fan of her, but if you just think of her as removal, she costs 6, she does 5 damage to take out a creature, or she can do 5 damage to your opponent, and then the fact that she doesn't automatically die means maybe it could work out better. I gotta take the Cleric, though. That's like power. Again, double a minion's health for 2, that is weird. Tiger Stealth or the Stormwind Champion. I love the Stormwind Champion, but I don't have anything 5 cost yet, and the Tiger is also very good. The Corsair is a good card if you have weapons, which I'm not going to. This Panther is also pretty good removal. He's not very tough. He's not going to survive whatever he attacks, but he will usually survive long enough to attack. And, of course, he can still do damage to the player. So it's a tough choice between him and the Silver Moon Guardian, who is a 3/3 for 4. It's not great, but he'll always survive the first hit. So, Having more health means there's more I can do in terms of healing him and stuff, but in this case, I don't think it makes a big enough difference. I'm going to go with the Panther. I think the Panther's better overall. Holy Smite is very good. It's removal. It's not... It could be better, like bigger removal would be nice, but it's removal, and I would take it. On the other hand, Cult Master is really good. Your opponent has to kill him fast, because you draw a minion whenever anything of yours dies other than him. His attack is high. His defense is low enough that he's easy to take out with spells, but his attack is high enough that if they take him out with a creature, they're probably going to lose their creature. And the real thing is, you can play him and then attack with stuff that you know will trade and get to draw cards immediately. So I'm taking him. He's card drawing all the way. I hope I draw more removal, though. Another Gnomish Inventor, War Golem, who's nice and fat. Thoughtsteal is another super weird card. You copy 2 cards from your opponent's deck and put them in your hand. So that's netting you a gain of 1 card. And it's incredibly weird what cards you get. You can get cards that aren't your class, which my understanding is you can still play them, it doesn't matter. That is so weird, but no, I'm going to take the fat. Late game, I want to be able to drop down something good every turn, hopefully. Inner Fire, change a minion's attack to be equal to its health. That makes it basically a light spawn. That's kind of interesting. I don't have a lot of creatures that have like low power and high toughness, so I don't think that's as worthwhile for me. Pirates that have like weapon-based powers, that doesn't help me. And Priestess of Elune, not great, but I'm going to take her. 8 mana, but it takes control of an enemy minion. That is so strong, but so way expensive, but so strong. I really need the removal. Both of these are removal. This one is cheap and useful early game. This one is not useful for forever until late game, but I've got to take this because that is a game-winning action right there. If your opponent has something big and obnoxious, and then they lose it, and I gain that big obnoxious thing, holy crap, is that a swing. Shadow Word Death. Destroy a minion with attack 5 or more. I would like more versatile removal, but I think I'm going to take that because I have virtually no removal yet, and I have a reasonable amount of fat. I wouldn't mind more fat, and I love Stormwind Champions, and Dragonling Mechanic I should actually probably take because that's good mid-game power, but no, I'm going to take Shadow Word Death because I need more removal. I got a row of all taunt. I'm going to take the toughest one because it's a little bit fatter, and I can, if it's tougher, I can take more advantage of my healing ability. Now we've got another Soul Priest, which is very good. We've also got the Abomination, who is another taunt creature, which is useful for me. And he's super good. Like, when he dies, he deals 2 damage to all characters, including myself. But, I mean, I'm the one with the healing power, and it's interesting. And in the Swordsmith, he is not that expensive. And at the end of every turn, he gives one of my minions +1 attack. Can't be himself. That is very good power. I have no 2-cost plays. I'm already at the 19 out of 30 cards. But I always get freaked out because there's not enough room for the 30 cards here. I'm thinking, oh, I'm so close to the end. I'm not really that close to the end. I'm taking the Abomination's so good. Soul Priest is so good. Making my hero power kill things and also still being a 3/5 for 4. I'm going to take the Soul Priest instead. I don't know. The Abomination's probably better. Mass Dispel. Silence all enemy minions and draw a card. That is super good. And the other 2 cards are Murlocs, which I'm not a huge fan of because you need to have like all Murlocs to make them decent, and even then they're still all kind of like small and reliant on each other. If one dies, they all get weaker usually. And these are especially, this guy's horrible. He's giving cards to your opponent. That's never good. Even if he's giving cards to me too. It's no, bad. And this guy is one of the worst Murlocs if you don't have a lot of Murlocs, because he's not doing anything for you unless you play other Murlocs after him, like while he's in play. You can't even, if you play other Murlocs first and then you play him, he still sucks. You know, Mass Dispel is awesome. That is like, for all the time I spent talking, that was like the no-brainerest row ever. I don't know about silence itself, like regular silence. 0 cost is nice. Silencing a minion is a very strong power, but I would much rather have an owl. The owl is 1,000 times better than this. Given the choices I have, I'm going to take the Northshire Cleric, because its card drawing is OP. Stranglethorn Tiger, very good for killing things too, but no, I'm going to take the Cleric. Why do I have all these 1-cost cards? Frostwolf Warlord, very good. Scarlet Crusader, still very good, but the Acolyte of Pain is amazing, and he's even better when you're a priest because I can hit. He can take damage, and then if he somehow doesn't die, I can heal him, so he can take even more damage and draw even more cards. Inner Fire, Taunt Guy. This time I finally get to take the Holy Smite. I really need more removal. He would sort of be removal, and I'm low in... I don't have many low-cost cards. Like, this guy is very tanky. He'd be very tough for me as a cleric. If I had Inner Fire, I could make him, like, super-powered. I love the Boulder Fist Ogre for fatness, but I'm starting to look at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 cards that cost 5 or more. I don't actually mind having more fat than that, but I feel like I have no removal. I think I'm going to have to take the Rifleman. I do need to have enough cards that will keep me in the game long enough for this other stuff to come up. Boring Crocolisk, don't have a weapon guy, and Power Word Shield draws cards. It was awesome. Power Word Shield draws cards. I have a lot of Power Word Shield all of a sudden. I already have 2, but it draws a card. Every one of these is making it faster for me to get to my other cards. Whereas a Stormwind Champion is another chance he would get stuck in my hand. This is going to bring me to my fat faster. I'm going to take this. If that logic makes any sense to you. It really wants to give me silence. That's not the kind of removal I want. I mean, it's okay. There are a lot of creatures that get bonuses from different things, and you can neutralize them. If the opponent plays enchantments, this will neutralize them. If my guys get frozen by a mage, I can unfreeze them with this if I'm willing to lose my own guy's card text. Like, it's very versatile, but it's not strong enough to be the card I want. Now, the Engineer would draw me a card. I do have a ton of card drawing, but I also have no 2-cost plays, so I think I'm going to pass up the Panther and take the Engineer. I have nothing that costs 2. You are too weak. You're just a weenie. I'm not interested in you now. I have enough 1-cost stuff. Inner Fire, not that exciting. Give me more fat. Boulder fat. Okay, I have cards in my deck that could actually combo off and make this guy work. I don't care. It's still stupid. The chicken that cannot survive 1 damage, that needs to take damage and still be alive to get a huge bonus to attack. So that's fine. Light Warden, whenever any character is healed, this thing permanently gains +2 attack. That is strong. Or another Soul Priest. There's starting to be a lot of Soul Priests. That makes it much more likely that I will be able to use my healing as damage. I don't have that much healing other than my ability, but my ability is a lot of healing. +2 attack whenever a character is healed. This thing itself is not very tough. It won't survive very long. No, I'm going to go with the Soul Priest. That is my whole deck, so hopefully I haven't made stupid decisions. Let's get right down to business. Gold cards could be disenchanted for a lot of dust. Yep, that is true. Like a gold rare disenchants for enough dust to buy any non-gold rare. So it depends what you care about. If you care about having a fancy gold card, or if you'd just rather get this stuff. I don't want to spend any money outside the arena if I can avoid it, so I'm probably going to disenchant my gold cards. Aw, I could have played against a penniless paladin.
Anduin versus Valera.
Penniless Paladin would have been a poor opponent. Okay, I'm going first. I have 2 low-cost early game plays that are awesome, and the most expensive thing in my deck that is not as, early game. Let's see what I get. It's kind of expected I'd get another fat card. I only have 3 cards here, and a third of my deck is fat. What can I say? I really wish I was going second, though, because he has more choices on what to mulligan, and he's going to have the coin. Should give him a leg up. But I do have a first turn play, so it's not the end of the world. And if she can take damage without dying, I can heal her and draw a card. Opponent coins out, what? Something with less than 3 attack? Damn it! That is not something with less than 3 attack. That is super annoying. I can't heal myself because I'm at full health. I can't heal her because I'm at full health. So, unlike almost every other class, actually every other class can do something with their ability on turn 2. I actually can't. I so wish that she had played anything that had 2 or less power. Then I'd be in an awesome place. So I'm just going to hit her for 1 and sit here with mana unspent, which is friggin' god-awful. And yeah, no, her ability doesn't trigger unless the minion was actually damaged in some fashion, unless the minion needed the healing. Now I take damage. What do I do? This is still a horrible position because the Acolyte of Pain would still die in 1 hit, so I'm only going to get 1 card for him. That's very not optimal, but I'm obviously still going to play him. He should die and I'll get a card unless she spends something expensive to kill him. I have a feeling she's looking at him and he's feeling really weird because he gives you these weird decisions, like you don't want to touch him. And that's very smart that she attacked me instead of attacking him, because I'm going to just go trade with him anyway, most likely. Plus she's beating me down at a fairly rapid rate now. So that's interesting. The Mass Dispel would get rid of the taunt and would get rid of his knife juggling ability, which wouldn't matter too much because I'd just kill him with my guy. I can't attack him because of the taunt. This would be a bad trade. I wish instead of this I had drawn a, whatchamacallit, the +2 toughness draw card thing. Because giving him +2 toughness would have been awesome. But, no, I think my best play, I gotta put out the light spawn, which is fat. And I'm gonna leave my Acolyte out there, because every time he plays a creature with the Juggler, it's possible that he'll do 1 damage randomly to my Acolyte and draw me an extra card before he dies. Now, the light spawn will go down pretty fast if he attacks him with his stuff. Like, if he trades the Juggler, then the light spawn's attack will go down to 2, and then he can kill it with the bear and not even lose the bear. Which would be okay, because then I would finish the bear with the Acolyte of Pain and draw a card. That's how things work. So, obviously I'm not doing so great so far, but that's to be expected. I built my deck to be a little bit more late-gamey.
So many options.
Oh, the backstab's no good for him. No, he's tiny. Now what are you going to do? Ouch. Well, it did take her 2 cards to kill him, so it's not the end of the world, but yeah, I gotta come from behind here. This hurts. I've taken a lot. Some would say too much. The stupid coin juggler messed me up bad. I still can't kill either of his things, which is pretty poor. If I massed a spell, I could kill the juggler, this would lose taunt, and I might just draw a 1-cost card, I guess. Or I can play my tiger and let him keep beating me down. I'm at 17, he's going to hit me for another at least 7, possibly more. I don't have enough mana to do stuff and heal right now. I think I am going to risk playing the tiger, because it's something. And again, I'm gonna leave the Acolyte alive, because it accomplishes nothing to do 1 damage to the bear. And as long as he's alive, he might eat a shot from the Juggler and draw me a card. Juggle this. No, don't hit me. That's horrible. That's even more horrible. Oh, this is bad. Stormwind Champion. Can't quite play him yet. So I can silence all her stuff, which would turn the bear back into a 3/3 and it would lose taunt. Or I could cast the Temple Enforcer, which would be another fat, and oh, it gives a minion 3 health. I was thinking I could heal myself with him, but I can't. So yeah. At this point, I can play the Boulder Fist Ogre, who is very large. But I'm taking so much damage. I need to do something about that. I can play the Priestess of Elune and heal myself 4. She's not exactly the ideal play, though, because I really I want to kill the bear and not lose my tiger, basically. Or I want to kill something and not lose my tiger. I think I'm going to try Mass Dispelling and see what I draw. Because I can always heal one of my guys afterwards. And it's a tough choice between the Novice Engineer and healing one of my guys afterwards. But actually, even if I heal one of my guys afterwards, they won't survive. So I'm probably going to cast the Novice Engineer. Or heal myself. Anyway, killing the Dark Iron Dwarf, because he's bad. Killing the Juggler, drawing a card. Power Shield, could have used that before. Healing this won't do me any good. I'm going to risk playing the Engineer instead of healing myself. It's probably stupid. But I wanted more stuff. So there's a good chance the rogue can just burn me down, which is why I should have healed myself. If she can't burn me down, then she's going to take out the tiger. Oh, that's not a good sign. If she's leaving the tiger alone, that's not a good sign. I'm probably dead. Woohoo! I'm not dead. She would not have done that if I was going to be killed this turn. She can definitely afford it. She's so far ahead in health. I don't have any AoEs to take out that tiger. That's really bad. I need to stop pretty much everything from attacking me. I can't afford to mind control yet, and I wouldn't be able to get the tiger anyway. Priestess of Elune would heal me for some. Healing me 4 would get rid of a lot of this stuff. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be killing anything, which is kind of a problem. If I play the Stormwind Champion, I would not be healing myself, which means I would take 4 guaranteed. Actually, no, she can just pay and do that. I have to cast the Priestess. I don't really have a choice.
I am the blade of the goddess.
That's what it comes down to. Then, my little engineer here is not going to accomplish anything. I can give one of my guys +4 health. I can give the engineer +4 health and then attack something, which doesn't actually help me any. Or I can give the priestess +2 health, so she'll be tough enough to not get wiped out. And I'm drawing a card either way, so let's see. I just don't have enough things with taunt, unfortunately, and my opponent with the juggler just crushed me. I had no way to get rid of that. I did not get enough, like, cheap removal in my deck, that's for sure. Well, since I can't kill any of those guys, I'm going to hit you for 1. Take that. So yeah, 0 and 1 is going to be my record sometime in the next 2 turns. If I can survive, the longer I live, the better my chances are. Because the rogue has fewer cards than me now. I get huge card advantage from this, and everything I play basically is fat and powerful. But the fact that I don't have the taunt means she can... Oh, she can actually just kill me anyway. That's right. Go me. Well, hope you enjoyed my sucking. I will see you next time. If you like this, please click the eponymous button. And don't forget to subscribe to Demonac Games for more Hearthstone Arena and Scrolls Judgment videos.